What's going on, guys? Miguel here, back again with another video. So today we're going to be talking about the hidden cost of gun ownership. So there's a few things you want to think about if you're thinking about getting into guns, right? So there might be a couple reasons why you're thinking about getting into guns. It could be home defense, it could be self-defense, it could be, whatever kind of defense you're thinking about. As a hobby, for me, it's home defense / it's a hobby, as in terms of like going to the range and all that stuff. So you're gonna want to think about that. But there is a hidden cost that I didn't even think about when I got into gun ownership. So there's the initial cost. Obviously, the initial cost of a gun is going to run you, after taxes and everything, about at least $500. Pretty much whatever kind of gun you're looking for. At least here in California, I don't really think there's anything under 300 or under 400. There's stuff under 400 definitely, but everything is really like 350 and up. Like, Ruger Max 9, that's like a small compact gun, that's like 370. What else is there? Maybe a Springfield XD is under 400, maybe, depending if you can find it on sale. But yeah, like I said, you need at least $500 for your first handgun or whatever. There's rifles and stuff that are like under 300. You can find rifles and shotguns for like 300, depending what you're looking for. Like, I think like a Savage Arms kind of runs at like $300 if I remember correctly. ARs, can't really find anything under 500. Everything's at least $600 or so. But yeah, so then there's the ammo cost. So home defense ammo, like your hollow points, that's going to run you at least $22 to $25 a box. And again, certain ammo comes in certain sizes in terms of how much you get. Some you buy 20 rounds, some get 25 rounds, but it's at least $1. It's almost $1 or more a bullet for your hollow points. Like the one I bought, it was $25 for 25 bullets. So $25, $1 a bullet, essentially. Then you got your range ammo. So you got your cheaper brands, your Winchester White Box, your Federal, Champion, your Blazer. I think it's CGI or CCI Blazer. I forget the other one. It's called like MagTech or MagTech or something like that. Those all pretty much across the board. Some places are cheaper than others. They're under $20. So for me, Fiocchi and Blazer and Federal, I can pretty much find them at my local gun stores for around between $14 to $16 a box of 50. Turners, if they're not on sale, I would say stay away from Turners, because those brands are typically like $20, $22 a box. So if you can go, if there is a local gun store near you that's not a Turner's, that when they're not on sale, check out maybe your local gun store. But then there's another hidden cost there, which is your background check, which I hear is supposedly going to go from $1 to $5 at some point. So there's that. And then you have the 21% tax out here in California. So you got your state tax and your 11% tax. So that blows. It adds an extra couple dollars to your bill. But the real hidden cost is training and accessories. So this is where training, it's a given. Like, you got to obviously pay to train. So you got to either go to training classes, or just go to the range and get better at shooting. But I didn't know how expensive accessories are. So like these flashlights for your gun, they're like $170 or so, like an Olight or a Streamline or Streetlight, whatever it's called. It's a TRL7. Those run like $170. You can probably get them on sale for $150, or like on the used market for like $140. I didn't know it was that expensive. Red dot sights, I had no idea they were that expensive. Some of them cost probably more than the handgun you're putting it on. And especially if your gun isn't already optic cut, like if you're getting a Glock, you're not finding any optic cut Glocks like brand new. So you either have to get an aftermarket slide or send yours out to get cut for whatever footprint you're looking for. So yeah, that's all very expensive. Aftermarket slides, I would think, since Glock was such a brand with such a big aftermarket support, I would think you can find some cheaper optic ready cut slides, but they're all at least like 200. Like a Brownie, I forget the name. They used to sell Glock 19 slides for like 200 bucks or like 170, but they're out of stock right now, so I don't know if they're bringing that back. So yeah, so those are very expensive. Right now I've just put on a dovetail adapter on my Glock 19 to see if it's accurate. If it's not, then whatever, I'll pay the price and I'll get my Glock 19 slide cut. I'm gonna probably send it out to Angeles Range Armory to get it cut. It's local to me, so that'll probably be my best route. I think it's like $100 or so just to get it cut. Or I'll try to buy just a replacement slide for my Glock 19 and send that out to get cut. But yeah, so yeah, accessories are super expensive. Like I said, sights, scopes, and all that. It's pretty wild how expensive they are. Like the Holosun, the Holosun, or the Romeo 5, or like $300. So yeah, so you just gotta think of that. Holsters are expensive. I don't buy holsters right now because I don't have a concealed carry. I will buy some to review, just like in general. So I'll be buying those. So I'll test them out, see how they feel. So I'll be buying some of those. What else is another hidden cost of ownership? Magazines, depending on what gun you have, magazines could be quite expensive. I think Springfield magazines are pretty expensive since they're stainless steel. I think Glock 19 mags are expensive. They're like $30 a mag. But I bought some aftermarket ones, so like the third party ones. So I got a Magpul one and an ETS one. They work fine. My OEM ones are the ones I keep in my safe that are ready to go for home defense. But the Magpul ones and anything third party I use for the range. I also use the OEM ones, but those are the ones I primarily keep for home defense. Magazines are expensive, depending on what kind of gun you have, what kind of magazine they run. All in all, it's a very expensive. If you're doing this as a hobby, it's a very expensive hobby. Because like once you get bit by the bug, you kind of want to buy more handguns and more handguns and more guns and more stuff. So yeah, it gets very expensive. Yeah, and then there's the off roster prices. So like if you want something off roster, you can only buy it used. People are asking a lot for those. So like I think I got a quote for a Glock 43X. It was like $1,400. So man, I was like, I'm not paying that much for a handgun. Yeah. So yeah, those are the hidden cost of ownership. And then like I said, training, cost of ammo plus the cost to go to the range. Depending on what range you go to, it can get expensive because some ranges that let you come out to shoot your own handgun or your own gun. Sometimes they rent the booth for an hour per hour. Some are for the day, like Angeles is for the day. You shoot as long as you want. The Northridge one, that's an indoor one. They are pretty good quality, or not pretty good quality, but you pay for the day. You shoot as long as you want. Oak Tree, you pay for the hour, so it's like $25 or so for the hour. So it's kind of expensive there. But yeah, that's pretty much the hidden cost of ownership. Accessories really is what does you in. And then if you just keep buying handguns, obviously now you're buying stuff times X amount of handguns. You got like maybe each one of your handguns you want a red dot on it. It's 3 red dots, 3 flashlights, extra magazines. Because some guns are compatible with other brands' magazines, so kind of works out. But if each one needs its own style of magazine, then that's a lot of magazines to buy. What else? It's pretty much it, really. So yeah, so if you take that into consideration if you're thinking about getting into guns. Yeah, it gets expensive quick, so keep that into consideration. Peace.